latest episode of Garage Finds. So I've been fishing for about 20 years, and our river is the Potomac River. And 20 years ago, there were no fish in the river. Yeah, well, I didn't know how to fish for them. That was the issue.
So you kind of hated it, right?
It was terrible. I'd blink, or I'd catch one little baby, and I'd watch you catch one after the other.
So what changed?
The baits and my equipment.
So is there, as you look back on 20 years of now some good memories, is there particular equipment that stands out as having been particularly productive or exciting?
Yeah, well, everybody's gonna laugh, but I still have a bunch of them. But my skeet reed topwater rod.
And why a topwater rod? I mean, topwater is kind of a hard bait to throw.
Well, you taught me how to use that Rico, and that topwater and Rico go together, and you catch fish.
It's kind of amazing because she has 8 of these rods. I did some work for Skeet and Dan O'Sullivan back in the day, and I traded out work for rods. And $99 rods discontinued now, although Skeet has come back with a new series of his own. You've caught between here and Mexico how many thousands of fish?
Oh, thousands, literally thousands of fish. Yeah.
So don't assume you have to spend hundreds of dollars to get the top quality rod or to have excitement with a topwater bait. Do you have another piece that you like?
Yeah, it's a different rod. It's a heavier rod.
What is it? Do you know?
I don't even know what it is.
Well, why is it memorable to you?
Well, see, okay. So we were out on the Potomac River, and we were fishing grass, and he taught me how to punch grass flats, and I finally got the hang of it, and I thought I was either caught up in the grass underneath, or I said, Pete, I think I have one, and whatever. And I said, no, Pete, I think it's heavy. I think I have one. And finally he turned around and you could see the fin come up through the grass. And sure enough, I had one.
It's pretty cool. This is a power tackle flipping rod. They're made by Tim and Judy Renault in Texas. And this was about 2008 or 2009, I think. I was going down to Falcon a lot, and they were for sale down there because they're indestructible. You can boat flip 7-pounders with these. I didn't tell you that because I was afraid you would try to boat flip a big fish and screw it up. But it's an amazing rod made to beat the crap out of fish in heavy grass. One other thing you may not have noticed about this reel is a Shimano Castaic. No longer made. I have a stockpile of them. And what's different about that is it has a dual thumb bar. So you hit the thumb bar here to depress, and you don't have to change your hands to re-engage. So if when the bait goes through the mat, you feel the fish bite, you click it down and set the hook immediately, and there's no waiting for him at all.
Of course, do you think I knew that when I was doing this?
She didn't know that. But what I do know is that I never got the rod back. It's been in her rod rack ever since then.
And what size fish was it?
It was at least 5 pounds. It was one of the bigger mat fish I've seen around here. Okay, the opposite of mat flipping is finesse. Do you have a finesse bait you like?
Yes. Well, I do. It's called the Centipede.
And that's the Zoom Centipede. There are a lot of other companies that make them, but pretty hard to beat a Zoom in some form of watermelon or green pumpkin. And why is that memorable for you?
Well, we were fishing a tournament together, and not only were we fishing a tournament together, we were fishing a tournament with 70 other people in the same spot.
Yeah, there was one very popular grass bed, the mouth of Aquia. It's not a secret. And I think we were like the second boat down there, and 70 followed us in.
And 70 followed us in. It was crazy. I mean, literally, as far as this video is away from us, is the people, our competitors were. And sure enough, we were fishing with chatterbaits, rattle traps, and Pete said, "Here, try this on and do your thing." Well, I did my thing, and I caught a fish. And remember what happened?
The best thing about it was that's when I knew she was into fishing, because she's in the back of the boat, and all of a sudden I hear, Pete. I'm like, speak up. Why aren't you speaking up? She goes, Pete, I got a fish on, get the net. Even though there were 70 people around us, she didn't want anyone to notice. So she kind of got it at that point. Cool thing about the Centipede is you can fish it weightless. We were fishing it that day either on a really light Texas rig, like a 1/16 of an ounce bullet head, or a slider head. You pretty much throw it out, let it come up to the grass clumps and kind of hold it there, and all of a sudden you just feel it swimming away. And that's when I kind of knew that you understood the worm fishing thing too, and not just, you know, a topwater bite that you get, you know it because
Right,
you see
right,
it. But
kaplash.
this bite takes a lot of practice and finesse and feel. Okay, do you have a fourth item?
It's only one more item. Yes, I do.
Okay, what is it?
It's the cutest thing ever.
Do you know who makes that?
Megabass.
It's the Megabass Sleeper Gill. And you had thrown the Dark Sleeper a bunch down at El Salto, which is sort of their goby crawfish imitator.
And I wasn't very good with it.
No, but what's cool about this bait is that you kind of figured it out on your own. What happened?
Well, you were throwing, I don't remember what you were throwing.
Chatterbait, swim jig.
Yeah, and nothing was working for me. So I thought, you know, and the colors he was using were kind of like this. And I figured, you know, I got to get better with this because when we go down to El Salto, I want to be, first off, it's so cute. You got to catch one on it. So I decided, well, practice makes perfect. Put it on, and what do you know? I caught fish.
It's really cool. That's when I figured out that she could go in the storage box and find something that worked. I didn't think it would work in the heavy grass, frankly, but that hook is in between two pieces of plastic, and it stays remarkably weedless. And obviously, if you hear bluegills popping in the grass, that's a perfect imitation of those little juvenile bluegills.
And look, he's just so cute.
So what do you think of the Potomac River now?
Oh, well, now I love it. When I finally get my chance to go out there and fish with you.
I'm just glad that we've had 20 years of fishing it together. We're going to leave here in a couple years. I don't know that I'll miss the Potomac, but we have made a whole bunch of great memories.
Yes.
And it's where you've learned to fish, more than El Salto even.
Oh, absolutely. It's where I learned how to use a bait caster. It is where I
Learn to flip mats, where you learn to throw finesse, where you learn to fish grass.
Yeah.
So many different things.
learned to drive the boat. Well,
Drive the boat,
Drive
sorry.
the boat.
Okay, stay tuned for future episodes of Garage Finds, where we'll see which other pieces of my tackle she took and put to better use than I could.